one moment, just one moment, Feathers suffered the worst crisis of her life. Am I fact? Or am I fiction? Am I what I know I am? Or what he thinks I am?
When?
This is from Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. They're certainly entitled to think that, and they're entitled to full respect for their opinions. But before I can live with other folks, I've got to live with myself. The one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience.
My favorite quote from a book I have read is, "When you tell a lie, you steal someone's right to the truth. When you cheat, you steal the right to fairness."
Pour vous, nos quelques lois peuvent paraître imprécises et fantaisistes, et les pénalisations encourues injustement sévères. Mais nos lois étaient établies dans le bien de tous et tout le monde y obéissait. En voici un exemple. Selon les lois que vous avez apportées d'Espagne, les voleurs sont punis de mort. Il en allait de même chez nous. Mais d'après vos lois, un homme affamé qui vole quelque chose pour manger est un voleur. Pas pour nous. Une de nos lois dit que dans chaque champ de maïs en bordure de la route, il doit y avoir 4 rangées de plants à la disposition du passant. N'importe quel voyageur avait le droit de prendre autant d'épis qu'en réclamait son ventre vide. Ainsi, cette seule loi assurait 2 bienfaits, guérir le voleur de son défaut et l'affamer de sa faim.
If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll.
Okay, this is one of my favourite books of all time. Stanley Baxter, Let's Parliamo Glasgow Again. A short reading from the book itself. That's the door. What are you sitting there in your civet for? Put on your jacket. Eh? Your jacket! It'll be Ellen or a fella. Oh, is he off his work? No, he's a night off.
She made weariless fire blaze from his shield and helmet, like that star of the waning summer, who beyond all stars rises, bathed in the ocean stream, to glitter in brilliance.
How often it is that the angry man rages denial of what his inner self is telling him. From June, by Frank Herbert.
Hello, so the book I've chose was The Sign of Four by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and one of my favourite quotes of all times is Sherlock Holmes' famous sentence. It says, "How often have I said to you that when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth."
Okay, the book I'm taking from is Breath by Tim Winton, and the quote is, "I still judge every joyous moment, every victory and revelation against those few seconds of living."
Talent Code by Dan Coyle. Don't look for the big quick improvement. Seek the small improvement, one day at a time. That's the only way it happens. And when it happens, it lasts.
Hello everybody. My favourite line from a book is actually a first line, and it's from a Scottish author called Ian Banks. The book's called The Crow Road, and the first line is, "It was the day my grandmother exploded." Now that makes you want to read a bit more, and it also made me think a bit more. What would happen if you exploded? I thought, do I know any scientists? Ah, there's a scientist just there. What would happen if you exploded? How would we find that out?
Well, for that we can refer to my favourite quote from a book, which is from Bill Bryson, A Short History of Nearly Everything. And my quote is, "You may not feel outstandingly robust, but if you are an average-sized adult, you'll contain within your modest frame no less than 7 × 10 to the power of 18 joules of potential energy. Enough to explode with a force of 30 very large hydrogen bombs, assuming, of course, you knew how to liberate it and you wish to make a point."
I'm not going to read to you from my favorite book, but rather a quote from my favorite author, William Faulkner, when he was accepting his Nobel Prize for Literature in 1950. He said, "I believe that man will not merely endure, he will prevail. He is immortal, not because he alone among creatures has an inexhaustible voice, but because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance. The poet's, the writer's duty is to write about these things. It is his privilege to help man endure by lifting his heart, by reminding him of the courage and honor and hope and pride and compassion and pity and sacrifice which have been the glory of his past."
So my quote comes from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and this is where the monster meets his maker at the Chamonix Mer de Glace. He says, "How can I move thee? You, my creator, abhor me. What hope can I gather from your fellow creatures who owe me nothing? They spurn and hate me. Only these mountains and dreary glaciers do not grudge me." And you too can discover the story of Frankenstein if you come to see the performance of the play on April 5th and 6th in the Iger Auditorium. Hope to see you there. Frankenstein for World Book Day.
"Kill him!" I shouted to the man behind me, and rammed my shield at the swordsman, who snarled as he tried to lunge with the blade again, and my shield slammed into his body, and I stabbed Wasp Sting down into his open thigh from groin to knee. A blade crashed against my helmet. An axe swung overhead, and I ducked down fast, raising the shield, and the axe split the iron rim, shattered Willow, and tilted the shield over my head. But I could see the bleeding thigh, and I stabbed again, upwards this time, in the wicked blow that made the man shriek and took him from the fight.